Hello everybody, welcome. Great to see you today. What does an abundant life mean to you? Well, let me tell you, I had quite a week just this past week. I experienced all the emotions of the highs and the lows. And let me tell you what happened to me this week and how I was to experience all the highs and lows. Here I go. I will elaborate. First of all, it was my 28-year wedding anniversary, and my husband and I just enjoyed and celebrated on our day off Monday, an incredible day of nature. We went hiking over at the Walker Canyon in Lake Elsinore. Then we went to the flower field in Carlsbad, saw 50 acres of the ranunculus flowers, all the colorful flowers in full bloom. It was beautiful, and finished off with a wonderful Persian dinner at Daria's. So it was an incredible, beautiful weather, a dream day that I spent with my husband. Then the very next day, sadly, I met up with a dear friend that was going through a lot of problems and struggles. And I was just listening to her heart, and it was pretty emotional. It was very sad and disheartening. So I was trying to encourage and uplift her spirits with God's spirit and reminding her of who she was. And that evening, sadly, I went to a funeral. One of my customers, sadly, that I've known for 30 years, she surprisingly passed away in her sleep the previous weekend. And it was very, very sad. So I went to her funeral, and it was just an incredible funeral full of pictures and videos and sharings from her grandchildren. And it was pretty emotional for me. And that was extreme low emotions. And then just the week itself was a busy week at work, just working with all the clients and their hair and hearing all their stories of either their highs and lows. I was able to experience doing a practice updo for a bride. She's going to be getting married next week. So I did the mother of the bride and the bride's hair, and it just came out so beautiful. And just to be able to share in somebody's special event in their life, what a treat and honor it is for me. So there are so many different occasions, you know, that we experience in our lives. And I was able to experience throughout the week all the different emotions. Surprisingly, too, I got an endearing gift from one of my dear clients that she gave me a plaque that said, "Hairstylist, a wonderful person who touches more hearts than hair." I was so touched. It was so beautiful. So, you know, I was pretty emotional this past week, let me tell you. And then the next day, Friday, we had a wonderful family time. You know, we went to go see the big Avengers movie, Endgame. My husband and my two sons were looking forward to watching that movie. We bought the tickets in advance, IMAX 3D, and my husband wants to watch it again. So, you know, it was just so many highs and lows, busy week, so many things going on, and it was pretty emotional, but it was all good. And I can say personally, I always live, but especially experienced the highs and the lows, just the abundant life in Christ. And that's what it says in John 10:10, that the enemy, the thief, he comes to steal, kill, and to destroy from us in our lives if we allow him to. And I just encourage you not to give the power to the enemy or to anybody that may distract you from walking on your path with God. But then further in the Bible verse it says, Jesus, he says, "I have come to give you life and to have it abundantly." What does abundant life mean to you? Doesn't it mean to have a fulfilled life? And just to be in fellowship with God each and every day. Just to be still and to know God, to be in fellowship with him in all your highs and your lows, through your emotions, through life circumstances, whatever it may be, weddings, anniversaries, funerals, helping a friend, family times, work, busyness with work, whatever it may be. In the midst of it all, just to experience and be in fellowship with God and to have that fulfilled life in and through Christ. I'd like to share with you this Bible verse. It says in Isaiah 41. So some of us, we may be caught up with a lot of anxieties and worries in our life and just all the fears of the unknown. You know, what happens to us when the mystery of the unknown, you know, we get all those curveballs thrown our way of whatever it may be. You know, it can be with in-laws, co-workers, all the negativity of the people. It could be struggling with finances or being challenged with raising our children or health issues. All the differences that we have with people, all our personalities, and we may clash with others. All our idiosyncrasies that we have that maybe other people and their peculiar habits may annoy us. I mean, we're humans, you know, and we're living out in this world of ours. But to experience it, just knowing that God is with us. Always, God promises to be with us, to never leave us or forsake us. But sometimes when we do get distracted away from God's path, and we do get caught up into all the anxieties and worries and confusions and chaos of this world, let me encourage you with this verse from Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. It can't get any better than that. For God to promise that He will help us. He'll just uphold us with our righteous right hand, and He'll strengthen us in times of weariness and sorrows when we may need it. Some of us, when we go through grieving process, like I went to the funeral for my client, you know, their loved ones, I'm sure, are devastated by the death of the mother, sister, relative, whoever the person may be. You're so grieved, and it's just so hard. And we go through our grieving process differently, in our own different timing, depending on our personality. And just to respect that of others when we grieve. But even in the times of grief, God promises to be with us, to never leave us or forsake us. He will comfort us, for He is the master comforter. And He promises to just hug us, to embrace us with His warm embrace, to shower us with His love. And then the times, those happy times, when we're just joyful, like when I celebrated my anniversary, experiencing the nature, the beauty, the walks, the hikes with my husband, eating delicious food for dinner, experiencing, witnessing 50 acres of beautiful ranunculus, colorful flowers at the flower field in Carlsbad. That was the most delightful day. My heart was so full of joy. And God says that we may weep for the night, but He promises joy will come in the morning. So just hold on to God's faithfulness today. I encourage some of you who may be going through hard times to know that God says, as long as we know Him, be still, be in His presence today, and just be of good cheer. For it says in the scriptures, in John 16:33, here on earth you will have many trials, sorrows, and tribulations. But take heart, because I have overcome the world. God wants us to take heart, to be of good cheer. God promises He has overcome the world. Let's keep our chin up, look to God, be in fellowship with Him today, and just live in the present moment, each and every day, whatever comes our way. For again, last week, one day I experienced a very high, a beautiful anniversary day in nature with my husband. The following next day, very low, disheartened for my dear friend, trying to encourage her when she's going through a hard time in her life. Then the evening, went to a funeral, sadly, for a client, one of my dear clients I've known for over 30 years. That was so sad. And just each and every day, the busyness, the chaos of work, raising children, whatever it may be. But let us just enjoy the present day, the present moment. just everything that is in the past, the good things, the good memories, hold on to them. Some of the past bad things, it made us who we are today. And we are still in the process of becoming more Christ-like. We are still being transformed into Christ-likeness. For it says in 2 Corinthians, we, all of us who are unveiled, are being transformed into His likeness with ever-increasing glory. So God's plan for all of us, each and every one of us, His children, He wants to continually transform us, build our character to become more Christ-like for His glory. And that is our process as we're living out in this world of ours. Some of us, again, if we're going through a struggling hard time, and it's hard to see yonder what's going to happen in our future, we're so worried with concerns and just being frightened of the unknown. Just think about a parade. God knows and sees the beginning and the end of a parade. But here we are lined up, sitting in our nice cozy seat and watching the parade go by. Here goes the flowery floats or the marching band walking through. We're oohing and ahhing. But what happens when there comes the horses? The men riding on the horses passing us by. One decides to go to the bathroom right in front of us. Ooh, that's not a pleasant sight, is it? But hey, it is what it is. That's life. But we just know it's going to pass. Each and every horse is going to pass. Each and every float, marching band, whoever it may be, it's going to pass. And we go through all the different seasons in our life. But I encourage you, enjoy the different season. Your highs, your lows, the good times, the boring times, the confusing times. Sometimes we just need that little wake-up call. That's going to remind us who we are and whose we are, God's children. And God sits on the throne, and He just loves us so much. He wants us to experience the abundant life that He sacrificed His Son Jesus to die on the cross for us, so we can live out this abundant life and to be fulfilled. So I just encourage you today, enjoy the present day. Don't be concerned about the past. Let it go. And don't be so concerned and worried about the future. Cast all your cares and concerns to God, for He loves you and He will take care of you. He promises. God is so faithful. Let's trust in God's sovereignty today and to enjoy the grand beauty of this life. All the emotions, all the experiences, all our highs and all our lows. And just to be in God's presence and enjoy every single moment of your life today and continuing on for our future. I hope that something I said in this video may encourage your hearts today. So I was so blessed when my client gave me the gift of, here I am being a hairstylist for 32 years. And it said in the plaque once again, hairstylist, a wonderful person who touches more hearts than hair. I am so tickled, and I hope to be able to touch your heart today and enjoy your life to the fullest, abundantly. God bless you, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.